WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WeFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Good morning once more, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 8:08 and welcome to Cop Chat this morning. This morning we're going to discuss building resilient communities through crime prevention. You're listening to myself, Ari. With me is Roleza and PCJ Henry and PC Elroy Kwame. Good morning, officers and Roleza.
Good morning.
Morning.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and building resilient communities through crime prevention.
Well, my name is J. Harry. I'm Corporal of Police. I am stationed at the Calico Police Station. I've been a police officer for the past 14 years. And
Ryan, my name is Elroy Kwame. I am Corporal of Police, and I am presently attached to the Criminal Records Office at the Criminal Investigations Department.
Okay, so this is a very interesting topic, building resilient communities through crime prevention. How do you believe, as police officers, that we build resilient communities?
I think that it's very important as police officers to engage the community. Because when you engage the community, you're able to feel out the needs of the community. And that by itself says that the community will be dealing with a number of issues. And you as a police, we are not supposed to be sitting at the station, but we're supposed to meet the people. When we meet the people, we know their needs and we're able to intervene. You build a strong connection with the people, you're able to prevent crimes. You're also able to solve crimes. Right? So you meet the people, you build a relationship with them, and with that, you're able to build the connection. You see the needs of the people, you see the needs of the children, and if there are needs for intervention, then we now could take that back to the hierarchy, and we can build a plan going forward.
So recently, the officer in charge of crime prevention, Trevor Bailey, he echoed those same sentiments where he was saying that a lot of officers, they tend to pass the people straight, and you need to avoid that if you want to indeed build relationships with the community and have persons assist the police in investigations. What do you guys think, when you're in the stations, what is causing this hindrance? What is stopping some police officers from getting out there and interacting with their community?
well, what I believe is that sometimes some of these police officers, they do want to go out, but at times during their duties, probably they don't have sufficient time sometimes. But I know that where I work at Calico, we try our best to go out and talk with the members of the public, try to build bonds with them. The only difficulty I would say is sometimes is transport-wise and the far areas. However, whenever we do patrols, we do engage with the public, speak with them, try our best to build strong bonds and connections. Doing this, people tend to trust the police. Not all police officers may have this skill, and at our station, we try our best to let our juniors know that they have to engage the public. The public is not our enemy, and in order for us to solve crimes, we need them. We need the people. So I always say that the only difficulty is being there, going towards where they are. That is the only thing I see.
Okay, and your station at Kadoko, sorry, remind me where you're stationed again, PC Kwame?
I'm stationed at the Criminal Records Office at the Criminal Investigations Department.
Okay, so you're at the CID. You in Kalakwa, PC Harry. You said that
Corporal.
you're
Corporal. They're
Sorry.
both corporals.
Corporal. Sorry, my apologies. You say that you do interact with the public at the Kalakwa in the Kalakwa area.
Yes,
what has the
please.
response been when it as it relates to crime prevention?
Repeat that for me, please.
You said that you interact with the public in the Calico area station as you're stationed at the Calico station.
Right.
What has been the response in terms of crime prevention in that area with this relationship?
The response is that people they are happy that the police are reaching out to them, and they are striving to come forward with information to the police. However, there are people who are still a bit concerned and say that they are afraid to give information. However, for that part, we are doing an excellent job in talking and gathering information from members of the public. However, we do this very discreetly and ensuring that nobody will, in the terms like say that the names will be called back and things like this. You understand?
But go ahead.
Okay, so in what way do you can you put it out there for persons who may not want to walk into the police station to give information? What methods can they use to relay information to the department?
Well, what I can say about that, because right now, these are more modern times, and we understand the need for community interaction. And so, from our standpoint, we have implemented some measures. For example, there anonymous reporting. So you can call to the station, especially if you have some information. You can call the station, and you could choose not to give your name, and you could relay that information, and we could act on it from our perspective.
And numbers not written down or anything, right? No callers ID business, right?
No.
All right, just asking.
Right. So we won't use your information against you,
Mhm.
right? We also have WhatsApp. So most of the stations and departments now, we're implementing the WhatsApp system, so you could message us. Even from the perspective of reporting, you could make a report, right? I mean, naturally, we'll have to meet you in person to take the statement. That's the case. But if you're going to share some information and so on, you can do that. I've worked at departments already where I would have taken information, useful information, and anonymously, and you report the information, you report that, we do our investigations, and we never call your name, your identity was never revealed.
All right, and in asking this, I know you're trying to come in, Ari, 1 second. In saying this, is it a case where in the instance of WhatsApp messaging, is it a case where, let's say, the CID has the WhatsApp number, or is it a WhatsApp number attached to all the stations?
Right, so it will be a WhatsApp number that is attached to the respective stations and departments,
Okay.
right? Because normally what if it's one thing that I can say is that the departments, we don't hide our numbers. Okay, so we interact with the public, we share that information. So once you're able to save that number in your phone, you could be able to instantly send a message.
Okay.
I just want to take this time to remind our listeners that this is an interactive program. The number to call is 457-9997. Also, the number to WhatsApp 457-9997, where you can also call. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook at WEFM99SVG. Excuse me. So I'm glad you guys brought up confidentiality, because coincidentally, at a town hall meeting at Kalekwa, a resident had raised the point that there are chatty police officers, and they're putting the lives of the public in jeopardy, and there's no confidentiality. They say that it is a huge challenge for crime fighting, and I'm wondering, what is your response to that? Because I didn't see a response really in the article that I read.
When you say chatty police officers,
so the person who made the commentary in the town hall said there's no confidentiality, because when somebody calls the police station, as soon as the person hangs up the phone, they call or text somebody to say, Mary, just call here to make a report. That is the biggest problem. You have to talk to your officers. The resident told those at the town hall that she believes that mobile phones, particularly social media, is the root cause of breaches of confidentiality among officers and the public. This is why people are getting killed. Your officers are talking too much and people are losing their lives, and it is a serious, serious thing, she charged towards the persons heading the town hall.
I have confidence in my subordinates and my officers at my station.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't encountered a situation where that has happened. However, if persons have distrust in certain police officers, they can speak with a police officer who they have confidence in. You understand? Maybe people are afraid that their names will be called. I know. But you can reach out to a police officer who I am sure that you are trustworthy of. Kalakwa police station where I'm working, I know that these police officers are of high credibility, and the public can rest assured that we are not a staff. As a matter of fact, the Royal Civil Police Force, we have credible officers who persons can speak with, and whatever information they relate to the police will be kept confidential. And if this is a case where it has happened, members of the public can report to a senior officer of this so that we can deal with the situation.
If I could just add to what my colleague is saying. We stand strongly, we stand 10 toes down on confidentiality, because again, we understand the importance of having a confidential space, because the police, we are here to serve, you say, to protect. And part of protecting,
a little closer to the mic, please.
Part of protecting is being able to keep your information, because we understand what could happen as a result of sharing this type of sensitive information. So I want to say, from the departments that I would have worked on, and from my understanding of general policing and what the organization stands for, we stand strongly on confidentiality. And if there may be a breach in the system, there are always means and ways that you can report that situation, and we can get it dealt with as a matter of urgency, because we need the public, and we need to always ensure that the relationship that we have with the public is strong as ever.
So are there preventative methods put in place to avoid breaches of confidentiality?
Well, definitely there will be measures put in place. For from what I know and from what I've experienced, there's a, what you call it, there's a code of ethics as it relates to the organization and the operation of police officers. And once found breach of these ethics, then you can and will be dealt with.
Go ahead, Roleza.
All right. So I know that you spoke on one of the methods of going into the public, into the communities and speaking with members, right? But what other methods are generally used in order to gain the trust of citizens or community members? Are there other methods that are used? Can they be disclosed?
We can't disclose all methods. However, I believe that methods that can be used that the police are using. We go out and we speak with the members. We go by their homes, especially persons who relay information to the police, and we tell them that to rest assured that whatever information is being given to the police is confidential information, and their safety is firstly a priority to us. And ensuring that their identity is not revealed or whatever information that they give is not being dispersed amongst the public.
And just to add to what my corporal is saying here, there are programs. There's some additional programs that I'm sure by now that we could be able to see programs like the police youth clubs and the Pan Against Crime, and and Sergeant Billy, I must say.
Right. So we have a caller, so we could expand on that just because. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning to the operator. I remember your name.
Ari, good morning.
All right, and good morning to the two officers today.
Good morning. To you.
All right. Now, you at your station, and you got a report of burglary for at least 4 straight mornings. You report it to the police, and there is no action being taken. In the give a suspect was named, and no action has been taken into that matter. How you look at that?
Are you still on the line, caller?
Hello?
Are you still on the
Yeah.
line, or are you?
I will because I might want to
Okay.
do something.
Okay. Go ahead.
Burglary, right?
Burglary, attempt burglary and burglary. 4 days on a straight. This thing happened. And you call the police. The police, they haven't even gone to take up the suspect to question him. And it's you're saying that the police are meeting with the public outside and
Right.
talking. But when this happens, these things that happen, and I see no action has been taken, it's really getting to me. Because you're saying one thing, and then there's something else happening. So I would like to hear your opinion on that.
Okay. Well, yes, Carla. That is not something that the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force accepts. And if that is the case, and you have telephoned the police about the situation, and for 4 days, the police has to pick up the suspect, I cannot say why that police officer who is investigating that matter has delayed on your report. But what I can say is that quick and efficient actions should be done. They should pick up the suspect and interview him soonest, carry out searches, and if any viable information can lead to this person's arrest and charge, should be done. However, that respectable station, I don't know where your community is, but what I would say is that you can call and speak with the person who is in charge. Let them know, because I do not know if this police officer who you reported matter to has that efficiency within them. So speak with somebody in charge, and that person will ensure that your matter is resolved.
Number two, it is a fact that you have, if at the police station, at the police station nowadays.
I didn't get that.
It is a fact that you have shift system in each station.
We have shift system. That is true.
If the police report an incident to the police shift on duty,
Right.
that
information should be transferred to the other team, and they should work along together to solve a matter. That is true.
Because I have the understanding that when one shift is off and something happens and the shift on duty, they take that report. They normally don't even pass it over to the shift now coming on to take over. So I'm wondering how that is not how that happens.
Exactly, as I'm saying, that is normally being done. Whenever one team is on and a report is received, whatever information that team has, it is passed to the next team. In the event that they capture or detain this individual or suspect you speak of, that information will be relayed. So I am not sure why your report has not been dealt with for the past 4 days. And if there's a case, that is why I say speak with somebody in charge, and they will deal with this accordingly.
It's really getting at me now that this thing is happening and nobody is concerned about it. So I'm glad you are there and that I can really my
yes, because what we want is efficiency.
Exactly.
And I believe that if you speak with somebody, they will assist you.
Okay.
Speak with somebody else. Speak with the person who is in charge of that department or station, and they will have that matter addressed.
Okay. Thank you for your information, and you'll have a good day.
All right. Thank you, caller. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a quick commercial break, and so we'll be back with Cop Chat shortly.
That could have been you. An accident that could have been avoided because your tires had almost no grip on the road. Safety is a factor that should never be overlooked when it comes to your car or whatever you drive. SVG Tire Sales and Services in Balls Avenue and in Arnisvale carries a wide selection of quality new tires to fit any car, truck, minibus, or SUV, so you can experience a comfortable and safe commute every time. We are agents for the world's most reliable brands on and off the road, including Kenda Tires, the king of the mountain, Cooper Tires, king of the road and track, Ostone, the king of the outback, and High Fly, the king of the Asian highway. We also carry new tires for light or heavy-duty trucks from MRF, High Fly, and Linglong. A reliable set of new tires keep you, your passengers, and your payload always in the safe lane. So when you need quality tires with reliability at 100%, choose SVG Tire Sales and Services in Kingstown, 457-1467, or in Arnisvale, 456-6444. SVG Tire Sales and Services. Performance and reliability proven when the rubber meets the road.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom? Whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seat. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry. We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Love it, embrace it.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WeFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And we are back with Cop Chat this morning. The time is now 8:35 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And if you're just joining us, we're discussing community resilience in crime prevention. Am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong? All right. So joining us this morning, we have Roleza, myself, Corporal of Police J. Harry, and Corporal of Police Elroy Kwame. So before the break, caller called in and he asked a question about reports and shifts. I think Roleza had a question to that point.
Well, not so much, reports, not so much the shifts. So I did recognize you were trying your best to answer that question. And I know that you are speaking in a sense where in a perfect world, in a perfect organization, everybody might be doing what you would prefer to see them doing in terms of taking their job seriously, etc. Right? From what the caller said, I think it's absolutely ridiculous to have to make one report and it not being addressed, much as to be making 4 reports and it not being addressed. And I note that you said that in that instance, they can call whoever is in charge of the station, right?
Right.
But in terms of my reassurance in knowing that my matter would be addressed, let's say at this point, I am just tired of calling that particular station. Is there another avenue that I can explore in order to be able to have this matter addressed?
Yes, please. If you're feeling that your matter is not being addressed at this particular station. For instance, in my division, South Central Division, if you're working at Mesopotamia Police Station, if you're going to the Mesopotamia Police Station and reporting a matter and nothing is being done, in your view, you can go to the station at Calico, which is the headquarters, speak with the superintendent in charge of that division and address your matter. Or if you so see that you want to go and speak with another officer, the ACP in charge crime in Kingston, that can be done also, or public relation, and have your matter addressed that way.
Okay, very good. Because I think people need to. All right, we have a caller. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now,
Good
I
morning.
hear
Good
you
morning.
guys, you have 2 policemen there, right?
Yes, that's
please.
correct.
Hello?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Can the policeman tell me how long have both of them been in the force?
I have been here for 14 years.
Pardon?
I have been in the organization for 14 years.
14 years.
Yes,
The next
please.
gentleman.
And I have been a police officer about 9 years.
Okay. I was just a bit concerned about your level of experience and dealing with the issue of crime. That's why I asked your number of years that you have been in the force. Have both of you been attached to the crime unit?
I have been attached to the criminal investigations department.
I also have been attached to the Criminal Investigations Department at the Calico Police Station, Central Police Station, and the Sexual Offences Unit.
Okay, great. As I say, my major issue is experience, because right now, St. Vincent is facing an upsurge, I would put it that way. Within recent years, we have been seeing a lot of crime being committed in this country. Yeah. And people are very concerned. And when you hear some of the things that the criminals are using, the techniques and so on, it requires, to me, a serious effort on the police force to up their game, right? And I'm not too sure that we're actually getting that sort of investment within the police force in terms of getting guys trained to really tackle the level of crime that we're having. That's my contribution. Thank you. I'm listening off here.
Yes, caller. I agree that as the years go by, the criminals are getting more, they're getting smarter, and the onus is on us as the organization to equip ourselves efficiently to beat them at their own game. And I always say that, and I know that is echoed from the head of the organization downward. Right? I know for a fact that we do go through some in-house training, and matter of fact, we go through international training, as a matter of fact, that has been provided by the organization. And so I know and I see the need for training. I understand, and we welcome training at any point in time, because, again, as we said, the criminals are getting smarter, and we as the police, we have to beat them at their own game, right? And training is very important.
All right, we have a question here on the WhatsApp.
All right, so the question is it that some police see themselves as the law and not the enforcer of the law, thereby air-gapping themselves from the public, the general public, as they themselves stop being members of the public? Let's take the first part. Is it that some police see themselves as being the law and not the enforcer of the law? In your humble opinions.
In my humble opinion. We are the enforcers of the law. at the end of the day, we are still members of the public. And that sentiment has been echoed throughout the organization. And that's the reason you see police now, especially now more than ever, we are in the public. We're seeing the top brass of the organization walking among the people. We've seen members from the constables up are being encouraged to meet the public, because at the end of the day, we cannot seclude ourselves away from the people. We are here to serve you, and that's our main purpose. We're here to serve the poor, the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines, the visitors, to protect property and all these kind of things. So we cannot take ourselves away from the people, right? And that has been echoed throughout the organization, to the best of my knowledge, right? As it is for me, I believe in meeting the people. I believe in speaking with the people and being on their level, because again, as I said, we are here to serve you. We can't be above, up at top, and you're below, right? We have to meet on your level. So that's my perspective.
So in both your opinions, what causes the gap? What causes the distance between the police and the community?
I think that it can be a misunderstanding. Sometimes when we allow small misunderstandings to grow, it becomes a major problem. And sometimes the public and the police, we do get into some misunderstandings. And that is the reason why it is very important that we can learn how to meet each other halfway, and we can fill and we can mend the gap. And those are the actions that have been taken as of recent, I can say, so that we can mend that relationship between the public and the police.
I would say that there are members of the public who are very fond of the police, whilst there are others who had some interactions where it evolved, where sometimes we want to make an arrest and people tends to believe that the police are there to beat or cause harm to their people, and sometimes instead of fighting with the police and thinking that the police are their enemy, we are not. We are here to enforce the law, and sometimes we have challenges enforcing the law, going out there and making effective arrests. And sometimes it becomes a struggle when we as police, sometimes we need to know how we speak to people. And instead of making them feel like if we're above them or treating them a certain way, we shouldn't. And that is not acceptable in the organization. As my colleague here who used to train officers, we ensure that the level of communication between the police and the public is very effective. And
sorry. I say what I have to say after. Go ahead.
Right. And to encounter certain issues, we have to know how to be community police officers. Because you might say, Ari, I have to go and arrest him. And he started to get on with some behavior. And you might be his friend. And you might not want the police to arrest him because of the way he's behaving. And we have to use force sometimes. But if we as the police go and we identify ourselves properly and speak with him, probably our approach might cause him to react differently. We don't want to go in an approach where we are too aggressive sometimes, although sometimes you have to use force. That is understandable. And members of the public probably are against certain actions the police might take. But we have to protect ourselves and other persons are there. So restraining people sometimes cause the belief that we are abusers, which we are not.
Okay. So I have a question in relation to a point that you made regarding training, and you were a former trainer. Did I understand it? But this would have been for recruits, right?
Yes.
So I do have a question, a curious question. How often does training happen, and does training happen at various ranks? And the reason why I'm asking the question is that you tend to find that the higher up in rank some persons get, their ego becomes inflated and they no longer know how to relate to the public, or they feel as though because they have a particular rank, I'm not saying this for all officers, clearly I would not be saying this for all officers, right? But with some persons, they may feel as though because they have a particular rank that they can speak and act in a particular manner with certain individuals, right? Just based on their ranks. So just out of curiosity, how often does training happen across the ranks? Or is it just for recruits?
No, I won't say that it's just for recruits. I think that training is an ongoing thing that is offered to various ranks from recruit stage upward. Right? I agree that there should be more training that can be done, and yes, that with the suggestion made that it can be materialized. But I know that training is an ongoing thing that is offered throughout the organization. It's not just limited to recruits.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break once again, and I have some questions and comments I'd like to add to this discussion, but we'll be back shortly with your Cop Chat.
At Lynch Caribbean, yes, we offer comprehensive insurance solutions and broking, but we are more than an insurance broker. We drill down to your core business strategy. We keep a pulse on risk to keep your operations healthy.
On your mark, get set.
Along the way, helping you to drive competitive advantages. At Lynch Caribbean, we have your back. Contact us today for insurance solutions, strategic risk advisory, and more. Call 453-3300. Email info@lynchcaribbean.com or visit our office in Beachmont, Kingstown. Follow Lynch Caribbean SVG on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or visit www.lynchcaribbean.com.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of two. No need to change machines, just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top-loading or front-loading, whether you want a 9-kilogram or a larger 15-kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
And we're back with Cop Chat this morning. So in the interest of time, just try to go through this quickly. If you're just joining us, we're talking about effective policing and community resilience. And we have joining us Corporal J. Harry and Corporal Elroy Kwame. So before, you're speaking about you having to use force in apprehending some persons and the reaction from the general community to that said force. Now, I've witnessed the public not respond positively to police carrying out their duties, whether it's traffic, whether it's crime, whether it's any department that you're attached to. But in the same breath, I have also witnessed police using unnecessary force. And you know that there's a difference between necessary and unnecessary. Now, this is a debate that could go on into the next hour if we're talking about what constitutes to necessary force. But I do think that it's important to briefly touch on the topic so civilians know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable when they see an officer making an arrest, and that in turn could then attribute to their reaction to said arrests.
Right. So, what members of the public are to be aware of is that police officers, while on duty, effecting arrests, I know that you may be concerned if this person is someone who is close to you. However, in doing so, in hindering the police from doing their duty effectively, it can result to you being charged also.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned that reasonable force should be used in an arrest. Reasonable force, not excessive force.
Mm-hmm.
There are offenses that, such as sometimes traffic offenses, where you might see the police pull over a driver and the conductor and passengers began intervening and causing. That is not something that should be done. And there are different means that the police can take through traffic offenses, as in reporting against such persons. But in cases like where we're apprehending a suspect and the police have him physically to be taken to the station, if you go and try to pull this person away from the police, it will result in probably you getting physically arrested and injuries may or may not be sustained, but you have to be careful sometimes. The police are they're trying to do their very best, and it's not in our intentions to hurt anyone. But for our safety, maybe sometimes we have to use physical force, but moderate to.
Okay.
Right.
So, Corporal Kwame, you said that you train officers. What is the procedure in a police officer making an arrest?
Well, a police officer, and it goes back to, as we said before, customer service, right? So nothing is wrong with a police officer saying good morning, sir, and you point out the offense that was committed to the person. Then you mention to the person that you're going to take them under arrest and you're going to take them to the station for this particular action they would have taken and what they're suspected of. Now, in some cases, you would meet resistance, and as Corporal Harry would have mentioned, in some cases, many cases, persons comply. While they comply, there's no need to use any force, as the force should be dependent on the situation. So if you're arresting somebody and they're going with you willingly, then you just accompany the person to the station, which I have seen and which I know is the procedure. Now, in many cases, and that's why I think the public comes in, because sometimes I think that the public can also play a part in de-escalating certain situations. You would have seen that someone would have committed an offense or they've been arrested. You could just encourage them, go with the police. Do not make the situation worse. Sometimes the suspects, they hit back and they assault police officers and they assault persons around. And so the police will have to take up the force a notch.
Now, the reason why I ask what the process is because in making some of these arrests, that is what triggers the reaction from civilians. So is it that an officer is supposed to present himself as a police officer and then mention to them what the charge is or what the suspicion is, and this is the reason why you're taking them into the station?
Naturally, you are supposed to do
a lot
that.
of times that doesn't happen. Because even with the interview with the van driver had yesterday, he was saying that the officers went and they grabbed him, and then he asked, "What am I under arrest for?" And they're saying, "We'll get to that when we get to the station." So a civilian hearing that, it sounds like, okay, there's no cause for you to arrest this man. And it does happen in a lot of the cases, and I do believe that is one of the main causes of any sort of rebellion from civilians in terms of officers trying to carry out an arrest. Now, we do have to put in the mix that there are civilians who just react because of their perception of police officers. That is a real possibility, and that is when force is necessary.
Right.
But as it relates to the procedure, I think it's important for civilians to know what exactly is the procedure so that they don't see it happening and react negatively.
This sounds like a topic that we'd have to propose for a separate cop
It
chat
might just
session,
be.
right?
But quickly before wrapping up, and it's on me because I let too much time pass without bringing it up. But I do think that the main problem in the disconnect is the force used sometimes, and of course confidentiality. Now, you said that officers do try their best to keep it as confidential as possible.
Right.
But I do think, and this is something that is always echoed, is that persons say police officers are part of the community as well, and they're human beings, and so they act in a certain way. That being said, this article where this lady is saying that a lot of police officers mention to other people, sometimes civilians and other officers, have nothing to do with the case. This is what has happened. This person came in and they made XYZ report, and I can tell you from experience that I knew someone who was arrested and was taken into Kalekwa, and the officer at Kalekwa call another officer, hey, XYZ get arrested, and that officer now call somebody else and say, hey, a civilian, this person got arrested, this is what happened, and it's more about comments than anything else. And I think that is the problem that a lot of civilians are having in their feeling confident that the information they're relaying to police officers stays between them and the officer making the report, unless it is that it's necessary for them to testify in court.
All right. Can you just you want to mention something?
Yes. I will say this again, that if this is the case, which I am not aware of at this station, if this is the case, and person believe that there is a particular officer who is revealing whatever information that they give to the police, this is not acceptable. And as civilians, I think that you need to speak with someone who is above that officer and have that police officer be brought to another senior and be dealt with accordingly.
And I just want to put in.
Also, we need the people, and we cannot solve crime on our own. police can solve crime, and we are solving crime in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But we need the assistance of the members of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to help us with whatever valuable information they have. And to cause a distrust between the police and members is not something that we need at this point in time. And I will say that anyone who feels that there is anyone in the organization that is causing a distrust, that they should make mention of it to someone who is particularly above this person's rank, and we will deal with them.
The public relations and complaints
Public
department.
relations. And I just want to send this home that we are bound by our code of ethics, and as part of that code of ethics, confidentiality is a major part of it. So I just want to reassure the public that at the end of the day, even if there may be, which I am not aware of, but if there may be an infraction, as the corporal would have mentioned, there are means and ways that they could address it. But generally, we stand strongly on confidentiality and building and restoring, building a stronger connection with the public.
All right. So in closing, I just want to remind the public that we need the police officers. They're necessary in a productive society. There are laws in place, and the laws need to be enforced. We need the police officers for many, many, many different reasons, but mostly for our own security. And we have to remember that we're supposed to be on the same side. Syria, a bit nosy there. But yeah, we're supposed to be on the same side. And I do appreciate both of you, both corporals, for coming down to the station this morning and having this fruitful discussion with us. Is there anything like that, Roleza?
I'm hoping that we can have this conversation again in the next 6 months when maybe a little bit more of the measures that you're putting in place now have been fruitful, or you can actually be able to tell us that they've been fruitful. Because I know it's one thing to have the meetings with the public and going into the communities, etc., but we need to see some fruits coming out of the efforts, right? So I'm hoping within 6 months' time, you guys will be back in studio and we'll be able to get an update on this.
I do hope so too.
We look forward to that.
All right. So once again, thanks for coming in, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure having members of the force join us for Cop Chat.
Thank you.